Welcome to the Well-Oiled Canine Podcast, where your dog's health is our top priority. I'm Dana Brigman, a canine nutritionist and certified holistic pet health coach, specializing in aromatherapy, homeopathy, and herbs. Join me on a mission to help your dog eat better, feel better, and live longer. Now let's dive into a world of natural pet care and discover the secrets to a happier, healthier pup. Visit me at welloiledcanine.com. There we go. All right. Hello, everybody. I am Dana Brigman of the Well-Oiled Canine, specializing in canine nutrition and natural wellness. And I have with me today another pet professional, Chris Holtz, who turns out to be a fellow South Carolinian. And she has a really fascinating business and business model where she talks about the Canine Confidence course. So I'm going to let her introduce her business. And Chris, I also want to hear about Dog Scouts, if you can tell me a little bit more about that. I know you used to be the president or something of that org, so I'd like to hear more. But what I'm hoping you will do is entice some of my clients and folks from around our region to come visit your facility and participate in this confidence course that you've built.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a actual course. There are obstacles for the dog to complete. And right now there's two different difficulty levels. I have a third level planned, and it teaches the dog in a systematic and positive way how to control and balance their body, and how to overcome fear or uncertainty, and to conquer things that may cause most dogs to hesitate.
Mm-hmm.
And so it builds on the dog's proprioception, which is knowing where their body is in space.
Right.
And they can develop more agility. It's not an agility course, though. It's not meant to be done at speed. Each obstacle is done slowly and
Okay.
carefully. And we want the dog to be focusing on where their feet are, and that they have back feet and things like that, so that they can learn to control their body, basically. And they can get better balance and better coordination and all those sorts of things.
Okay. So they don't have to have any experience before they begin with you, right?
No, none.
Do you
I
teach?
can work everything from puppies to my 16-year-old dog has been on the course. So
Oh, wow. Is this one-on-one with you, a client, and their dog, or is
yes,
it a group, or how does that work?
it's one-on-one. People sign up for a half-hour session, and they come out and work on whichever obstacles that they need to work on. Or we can just start with the puppy level. Everybody starts at the puppy level, and kind of assess where the dog is and what their um, skill level is,
Mm-hmm.
and take it from there, and just build on what they can do well, and help introduce them to new things that they can learn and conquer and feel more confident.
Right. And so let's just talk a little bit about confidence and what that means in a dog. What are we looking for, or what may a dog that, let's start with a dog that's lacking confidence. What does that look like, and how does this help them really develop and blossom into their own self-confidence?
Yeah, the a dog that's lacking confidence might not want to do some of the obstacles. There'll be avoidance. There could be a very tense body, and they're the tail's down, the ears are down. So we want to work at the level where the dog maintains confidence,
Mm-hmm.
and take it slowly enough that they can learn and conquer that obstacle without experiencing undue fear or stress or anything like that. So we're going to take it nice and slow if they show any kind of hesitation, and help them be more confident in doing things that are scary to them.
Yeah. So I'm assuming this is things that maybe wobble or are elevated or inclined and that kind of thing. Is that true?
Yes, yes. The puppy course has different surfaces. So I say puppy course, it's
Beginner.
puppy level.
Right.
So that's the starter level. And it has multiple different surfaces. So I have I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a grid, and
Okay.
each square has different surfaces in it. And so there's things like sponges to walk on and logs laying horizontally. There's mulch, there's pine straw, um, there's feed bags that have other bags inside of them.
Oh, no.
There's some slick plastic. There's a tarp, a X pen flat on the floor, so it's a metal
Uh-huh.
grid, a rubber mat that has holes in it that's very tactile.
Okay.
So all the different kinds of things that the dog can experience walking across, and that some dogs have issues with walking across.
Sure.
And
Is
then
I'm
there's,
sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna, I'll ask a question, but go ahead and finish that thought because I was shifting gears slightly.
Okay. There's also the what we call the narrows, and that's two 4 foot by 8 foot sheets of plastic that I can control how close and how far apart they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so the dog has to go between them. And so some dogs are very space sensitive with things on either side of them. They don't want to go through a narrow space. And so that helps them overcome that.
Mm-hmm.
There's some planks that move slightly. There is a water obstacle. There's a proprioception obstacle, which is basically a bunch of logs, thin logs on the ground that they have
Mm-hmm.
to step between.
Right.
There's a wobble board. There's what I call the crazy curtains,
Oh,
and that is what they call pool noodles. I've got right now,
gotcha.
I've got pool noodles that are vertical and close together, and the dog has to push between them. And then I also have feed bags that are vertical that they can push between. And there's a pallet ramp with the close spaced boards. So it's basically just a fairly easy ramp with narrow gaps. And then at
Mm-hmm.
the next level up there, they have the regular standard pallet spacing where there's bigger gaps where they really have to figure out where their feet are in order to do it. Um, but oh, and there's a puppy chute. So learning to go under the fabric.
Okay.
So
Uh-huh.
they can go under that. And there's cavaletti. And so
Yes.
they can work on the cavaletti stuff.
Right. Is this a series of sessions with you, or can somebody just show up and do an activity with their dog for the day? Or I know it's like a 30-minute window, but is it like, can we do it a one-time thing, or is it a series? Or tell us
It
about
really
the
depends.
programs.
It depends on the dog. I recently just had a dog come out and do start to finish both levels in the half-hour session.
Oh, well.
So that was the first that I had that the dog was she came with a friend whose
Uh-huh.
dog needed some help with the obstacles and had some big feelings about it. But her dog was very confident and had done parkour and agility and things like that. And she just aced everything start to finish in the half-hour session. And so it really depends on the dog as to how many sessions it'll take. Some dogs are coming back multiple times in order
Okay.
to get through the levels and work through them.
I
And
mean,
other
I can
dogs
see
are
where it
going
would
through it
just,
really quick.
yeah, I can see where it'd just be a fun activity, and I want to come bring my dog through. Just
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
so,
And
how
there's
does
medals. They can earn medals.
well, I saw on your website all of your display of like championship ribbons and whatnot. So you can tell
Right.
us about that in a minute. But tell the pet parents how something like this translates to everyday life.
It for like if you have a dog who is doesn't like to walk across slick floors,
Okay.
or you need to take them out in public and they experience something, they have to go through something narrow, or if you want to do agility or parkour or dog sports, you need the dog to be able to have good balance and agility and proprioception for a lot of dog sports. So
Mm-hmm.
those all play in to teaching the dog how to use their body, that they have a back end, that they can control the back feet, things like that.
Yeah. Are there things that a pet parent can think about doing at home as they are raising a puppy, or maybe they've come into, they've adopted a dog who's just not very confident? If they're a little out of range to travel to you, are there things that you can teach them from maybe your website or from videos that you have that they can do at home?
I haven't set that up on the website, but I mean, the typical socialization where you're going to introduce them to as many unusual surfaces
Okay.
and experiences and things like that in a way that is positive for them,
Mm-hmm.
so that they enjoy the experience is going to be your biggest asset as far as increasing their confidence, especially if you have a more timid puppy.
Okay.
Just take it nice and slow and, let them check it out. Just you maybe go and sit somewhere new and just let them absorb the environment and take it all in, rather than interacting with the environment in some way. But
Right.
whatever they can handle and still be happy about,
Okay.
get them exposed to as much as you can.
So I don't know what I don't know about this. Is there other things you would like to share with us about the program or the purpose and benefit of this type of work?
Um, I think it's very unique. As far as I can tell, the only other location that has this sort of a course for the public to use is out in California.
Okay.
And so if you happen to be on the East Coast, then this is, maybe closer for you.
Right.
And yeah, you can make it a day trip and come out and spend a half hour
No, I totally have a friend that I'm going to call after we hang up here and say, we're
and
taking Poppy, who's my dog, and she has two sheepadoodles, I think they are, and they would love it. They would
yeah,
absolutely
cool.
love the activity.
And that, I have people sign up for a half hour session and people think, oh, that's not very much, but this really works the dog's
Sure.
brain and body. And
Right.
all the dogs go home and just crash. They sleep
Yeah.
for a few hours at least.
Right.
And so that's why it's a half hour session, because by the end of the half hour, the dogs are done. Their brain's
Yeah.
done. And so if somebody is coming from a long distance, then what I would recommend is do a half hour session maybe in the morning, and then take a good long break, let the dog take a nap, and then we can maybe do a second session that same day.
Okay.
So that way you could get two sessions in at once.
I had your website pulled up and I wanted to see, like, can you see my
There you
screen
go.
right
Yep,
now?
that's it.
So I'm assuming this is the course, right?
Yes,
Is it
that right now I have the puppy course is near the course entrance, so the lower left,
okay
and the
over here?
whole right hand side is the basic course, which is the next level. And
Mm-hmm.
then the top left is what's not built yet. That's going to be the expert level. Um,
Awesome.
but that's a work in progress.
And how much is a half hour? I understand prices can change in the future, but if people are curious, how much would it be to go today?
Currently it's $20 for the half hour.
Okay. And how far in advance would someone need to book?
I try to block off the calendar for the following day, just so that someone doesn't sign up while I'm out doing something and not checking the computer. But
Mm-hmm.
if it's not tomorrow, you can sign up the day after.
Okay.
Uh,
So there's
just give,
a pretty quick turnaround on availability.
yeah,
Are
yeah.
there any requirements?
Currently, through the
Sure.
summer, we hardly had anybody out here because it was just
It's
too
hot.
hot. But now we're kind of getting into the season where there'll be more people booking. But if you go to the website and read through the rules, you'll see the link to sign up.
Okay.
And if you can see a time at the bottom of the page, it's available.
Okay.
And so
And are there any requirements for age or vaccines or any of that kind of stuff to participate?
right now, I'm not requiring vaccines. I'm
Okay.
assuming that people are going to do that for their dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody has a baby puppy, then I may recommend that they have, at least the first set or two of shots. But
Mm-hmm.
it's an outdoor course, and right now it's not heavily used. And
Okay.
so I'm not that concerned with a whole lot of transmission. Other than feet, there's not a whole lot of contact. They're not like taking things in their mouth or anything.
Right.
So what was the other part of that question?
That was it. If there was
Age
an age requirement
and
or any, yeah.
there's age and something. I don't remember what else you asked.
I asked about age and vaccines and you covered both.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
any
awesome.
age, I think it would be awesome for baby puppies
Uh-huh.
because the puppy level course is all low stuff, but it's also stuff that exposes them to things that they may not experience in other ways.
Well, I think that's so important. I don't think we have enough programs that start puppies off on the right track, right? I love the
Mhm.
texture changes and the wobble changes and the step over things. And I think about that in terms of like the real life. Like I see your dogs behind you. I'm assuming that's the Grand
Yep.
Canyon. But people who take their dogs hiking and now they've come upon a log across a creek and they got to get over it,
Right,
these
right.
kinds of things will lead to confidence in those lifestyles that the people want to lead. And there's no better time to begin that than at puppyhood.
Absolutely. And it also can help the handler learn how to read their dog, to know
Right.
when they're a little bit unsure, and how to help them through that.
Right, which is so important. So
Hmm.
important. All right, this is fantastic. Well, so did this come out of the Dog Scouts thing or is it something different? I don't know what I don't know here, so
It's
educate us.
Yeah, it's sort of a combination of multiple things. I did develop some badges for dog scouts for urban search and rescue.
Oh, nice.
And so some of the obstacles are similar to obstacles that might be found for those badges. And the goal there was to get dogs comfortable with unusual surfaces and things that move. And because you never know what you might be experiencing if you're an urban search and rescue dog, where you
Mm-hmm.
might be searching a disaster site. So you might have to walk across an exposed pipe or across rubble that moves and things like that. And so the Dog Scout organization is it's like the kids scouting organization, but the dog is the scout.
Oh,
And so I don't even know how many badges now, a lot of badges that the dog can earn. And each badge has components for both the dog to learn and the handler to learn
I
and
had
demonstrate
never
that they
even heard of
understand.
that, to be honest with you. Is this something you teach today?
I don't have the affiliation with Dog Scouts currently, other
Okay,
than being a lifetime member. But
right.
I had a troop when I was in Ohio, and I also taught at the camps. And as you mentioned, I was president of the organization for a while, so
Mm-hmm.
I was heavily involved in the organization at one point. But I've kind of gone other directions, and it just kind of didn't keep up with the Dog Scout stuff, but I
Right.
still highly recommend it. It's a fantastic program. Uh,
I was fascinated with what I was seeing, and then with all of your awards, that's amazing.
yeah,
I tend
but
to
it's
focus on the dogs that have some behavioral challenges, but this competition stuff and the success that the handlers and these dogs have together is just fascinating to me.
yeah, it's a lot of fun too. I mean, you don't even have to be all about the ribbons, and you just
Hmm.
go and have fun with your dog. And I've competed in or dabbled in every dog sport and almost every dog activity And so I've had experience with everything.
Yeah,
And mainly because of my Malinois. And it was more of a survival thing as he was younger because he had to have a job,
sure,
multiple jobs,
sure.
in order to keep us both sane. And so we just tried everything, and pretty much everything except obedience was his absolute favorite sport.
Right.
He enjoyed training for obedience. He just didn't like the obedience trial atmosphere.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything, he was like, yay, let's go do that. Let's go do that. Oh, good, we're here, we're going to do that. So it made it very easy to have fun with him in many different venues.
That's fantastic. I feel like my dog got the short end of the stick. All right. Well, what else do we need to know? Anything?
Um, Not that I can think of. As far as myself, I've been training for almost 50 years, and through Dog Scouts and my own personal training facility that I had in Ohio, I've trained probably thousands. I say hundreds, but I've trained a lot of people and dogs
Sure.
for a huge variety of activities.
Right.
And everything from pet manners and problem solving to upper level competitions and search and rescue and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
service dog skills, things of that nature. So
Sure.
I have
Well,
a
remind,
fair amount of experience in reading dogs and working with them. And I've used all positive training since I went to a seminar in 2000. So
mhm.
24 years, I've done all positive training.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, remind us how to reach you and find you if somebody wants to come give this a try.
Yeah, absolutely. The website is canineconfidencecourse.com.
Hmm.
And my email is dogscouts@hotmail.com.
Okay.
And I'm located between Camden and Cassett in South Carolina. And that is east of Columbia off of Route 1.
Right. Awesome. Well, this has been fantastic. I appreciate your time, and I'll get I'll get our things edited and let people know that you're here. I had no idea until we found each other in a networking group.
Yeah.
So I want to get the
It's
word out.
fairly recent. I just built the whole course last year.
Oh,
So it's brand new. But I've already had quite a few people come through, so they're very
that's
excited.
fantastic. Well, I'm going to start try and find a time that I think it's a little over 2 hours for me. But like I said, I'm calling my friend and saying we need to go. So we're going to figure out a time and maybe come visit you and try
Excellent.
out the course.
Oh, I'm also on Facebook. So Canine Confidence Course on is a group on Facebook as well.
Okay, good to know. I'll make sure all of that gets added so everybody has access to that. And I really do appreciate your time and what you're doing, and look forward to seeing some of the outcomes of the confidence you're building in these dogs and their people.
Yeah, yeah. And I hope you get to come up and try it out yourself.
I intend to.
You can be one of the clients that are raving about how awesome it is.
I know. I listen, I think it's fantastic. I'm excited to try it.
It's a
All
lot
right.
of
Well, thank you
the
very
dogs have a
much.
lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us on the Well Old Canine Podcast. I'm Dana Brigman, your canine nutritionist and certified holistic pet health coach. I hope you found today's episode valuable and inspiring for your journey towards better health for your dog. Don't forget to visit me at theweloldcanine.com and check out our members forum for lots of discussions, interactions, education that you won't find anywhere else. That's at members.weloldcanine.com. So join the community. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps me reach more pet